map looks awesome.
Right? Some people don't even know how to get in. Anyways, this is the new Xbalanque
Have spawned.
to try and show you. It's pretty cool. You'll see it if you do watch in the background. Oh, there it is. It will end up changing colors. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the most amazing gaming channel in the world. Without further ado, we're going to be going through, if I can get there, the offensive physical power items. We already talked about the starter items as far as Watcher's Gift, Bluestone, things like that. So we're going to kind of skip over those ones. Now, to start this off, we're going to be going over the Reinforced Greaves. This gives you a little bit of physical power, health, a shit ton of CC reduction, and movement speed. This is something that I would grab if you are going to be, say, a warrior or a support. By grabbing these, get immediately right off the bat, getting that 30% cooldown reduction, or crowd control reduction. Let me try and use the right words here. CCR is going to be very, very helpful. If you're going up against like an Athena or anything like that, the CC reduction works on everything, and it's actually a very, very helpful item for someone with like warriors or supports. Moving on, we're going to have Ninja's Tabi. This is going to be more, I mean, you guys see all the stats there. So it's going to be more for those like ADC type people that, you know, don't quite have it. Sometimes assassins, you've seen it in possibly my Nemesis build. I have Ninja Tabis on. In the first part of the Awelix, there's the Ninja Tabi. Just gives that little bit of extra attack speed. But most of the time on ADCs, you're going to be building most of the time warriors just to get that little bit of extra power onto your basic attacks. Telleria Boots is going to be good for somewhat of junglers. I also get this, the mage type. Now I'm going to try and not double dip here, but the mage is Traveler's Boots, and they're essentially the same exact thing. It's very, very helpful because it increases your movement speed when you're out of combat, so you have a lot more mobility, and whenever you hit an enemy god, you gain 30 extra gold, and it increases your HP 5 by quite a bit. So it's a very, very good item as well for people that I would say supports. I get it on my non-mobile supports, so I can travel over to get more ganks, and possibly junglers. Possibly. Warriors Tabi, this is just going to be for more your heavier hitters. Most of the time, this is going to be your warriors. This is going to be most of the time your ADCs. Very seldomly, you'll see a Ninja Tabi pop up there. Ichval, this is basically like a dumbed down version of Executioner. Ichval, though, is going to be very good for basically outboxing ADCs because you're going to steal that physical power. So most of the time you're going to see ADCs build this. Every once in a while, I think this was on my Nemesis build as well, just because it's Nemesis and her stacks work very, very well with this. So yes, Ichval is more likely going to be for your ADC type people. Gives you that good initial attack speed, gives you a little bit of penetration, and allows you basically outbox the other ADCs at an early level. Heartseeker. I honestly don't know why you'd ever use this. This is a really shitty item. Probably one of the least bought items in the entire game. I've thought of multiple times of why you'd want to use this. The only thing that it does is you build up to 15% attack speed. But at 5 stacks, when you use an ability, that goes away. And you have to use another basic attack to help you gain their focus to get that back. At the 5 stacks, your ability only gains you 40 physical power. Now, it's not 40 physical power to that. It is add 40 physical power, and then whatever it scales to, that is what your ability. It is not a good item. For 1800, I would much rather have Ichval than anything else. Next one's going to be Shield of Regrowth. This is going to be good for people that have self-heals. I haven't tried it out, but I did have someone in my comment section down in my Cupid video said Shield of Regrowth is actually very, very helpful because all you have to do is throw down your 2, you get your hearts. As soon as you pick that up, you gain 35% movement speed. As soon as you dash, then you get more movement speed. And this was actually very good. You may have seen it in one of my first Amaterasu Season 2 video where I didn't actually have boots because I was using this. You pressed your 1 to heal and you did very good. I could also somewhat see a soul get this, but I actually don't think Shield of Regrowth is possible on mages. So really, it's going to be for people that can self-heal and then go from there. But it's a decent item, nothing amazing though. I could also see it on somewhat of a Sylvanas, just because you can heal and then chase down the enemy. So it's not bad as well there. Devours Gallant, this is going to be a very good lifesteal item. This is going to be for people like AMC, who you just need to hit hard. Someone like a Artemis or a Rama, people that don't really need the attack speed that comes with Soul Eater. You can just go straight into building and hitting like a truck. Titan's Bane, this is basically going to bypass 33% of their penetration of their armor. To make this simple, say they have 300 physical protections. They have a shit ton of protections. You've been destroying everyone and they're tired of dying to you. This will bypass 100 of that, making them have 200 armor for you. That is strictly what this item's for. This works against Phoenixes, works against towers, and it also works against objectives like the Fire Giant, the Gold Fury, and the Titan as well. Next one's going to be Hydras Limit. This is very good for certain gods. Loki is a very, very good god to have this. Gives you a decent amount of physical power. Nothing amazing, but it does give you the cooldown reductions, which is quite nice. But the biggest thing is, there is no cooldown on the passive, which is after using an ability for 8 seconds, your next basic attack will deal an additional 30%. This is going to be more for your assassin. Someone that can like go in. I could potentially see this on a Susano. Possibly, but for the most part, he's probably most well known for picking it up on Loki because you can spam abilities and be very close. So you can use your 1 in attack, then your 3 in attack, and all those basic attacks after that are getting an extra 30%. So it's more for going to be for more assassins. I've never seen or even thought of building this on someone like an ADC. Runic Shield. This is going to be good for someone. I actually had my, I believe it was an Apollo. They picked up this because we were going up against an ADC of Soul. Freya is also a very good one. Now the catch is you have to be a physical opponent in order to get this. If you're going up against a magical range, you are going to want to get this as early probably as your second item. The reason why is because they have their attack speed reduced by 20, they have their magical reduced by 50. As your second item, they probably don't have much magical power. If you build it first, you will for sure 100% negate basically anything, because they're probably going to go boots. No boots gives you 50 physical or 50 magical power. You should be fine. But at the latest, I would get second, because it's going to be able to let you outbox them and reduce their power, as well as it gives you that magical protection and physical power as well. Ansel. This is decent. I don't really find any reason to get this. It does have magical protection, which is nice. It does give the physical protection, so it could potentially be used against something like against a Soul or a Freya, or just anyone that's really kind of fucking you up like a Giannis. However, the passive that they changed in Season 3 is not that great. You only gain 0.5% physical power for every 1% missing health. That means at 98%, just for simplicity's sake, you will only gain a 48% physical power. If you are at 90%, 98% of your missing health, you're dead. You're fucking dead. You're not going to survive that. So you're really going to... It's not a very good item. It used to be good, but not anymore. It could use a buff. If you want to get it, I would say probably go with someone with magical that's going to be hurting you. Next one's going to be Masmune. This is going to be very good for assassins. The reason why is because the passive is what makes it very good. Also gives you that extra movement speed and the good physical power as well. Besides assassins, I don't know who else would want to get this. Executioner, this is going to be good for ADCs. Certain assassins are going to be very good on this as well. So say we're going to say that they have 300% or 300 physical protections again. This is going to reduce your target's physical protection by 8% with a max of 32%. So to say, you will bring that 300 physical protections down to 200. That would be amazing to kind of help that out there. Next one's going to be Frostbound. This is going to be for people that really just need to be able to stay on their target like flies on shit. You guys have seen this on my Bakasura, on my Arachne, on my, I believe, Nemesis as well. Getting Frostbound is just a dick thing to do. You can also get it on some other warriors as well, because they're going to be able just to be able to stick on you and hit you over and over, and you're not going to ever be able to move away from them, and you won't even really be able to outbox them unless you are doing an amazing job and you're out leveling them, because your attack speed is also reduced by 15%. So I have also seen some ADCs to go with this and hastened, and it's just a giant, enormous dick thing to do. Next one's going to be Crusher. This is going to be someone good for also on Loki. The reason why is because it allows you to split push. This is going to be for your split pushers. People that, if you're not a good team fighter, you know you're not a good team fighter, get this and push lane when your team fight's going on and you get bitched at for not being part of the team fight, but you took 2 towers, because it gives you 20 physical protection, or pen, which is very good. Gives you 40 physical power, and you can increase your attack speed by up to 50% and your physical penetration by up to 25, which means that this item against towers and phoenixes is going to give you 45 physical penetration. Very, very good for taking towers, especially if you pair this up with Titan's Bane, which Loki usually has. Golden Bow is going to be good for people that need AoE. Most of the time, people are going to grab the second tier of this, which is Throwing Dagger, and use it for an early, basically starting item for ADCs to help clear lane. Gods that will actually benefit from this would most likely be Mercury. However, with this current one, they're taking away the crit. So it's very difficult. I think it's just going to be a learning curve of figuring out where this is supposed to go, because a lot of things have... They changed it. Next one's going to be Brawlers Beat Stick, and we'll end right here because see that the video is kind of going on, and I don't like these to go over 11 minutes. So the last one's going to be Brawlers Beat Stick. Get this if you have anyone with healing. If you have Isis, if you're going up against a Hell, a Sylvanas, anything. Enemies hit by your abilities have 40% reduced healing and regeneration for 8 seconds. This would be very extremely helpful against a Hercules as well. So hopefully you guys did enjoy part 1 of the power, because there's a shit ton more and it would be a 40-minute video if I continued this. So part 2 will be coming out soon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next time, have yourself a fucking amazing life.